Hi, Dallas Makers. This is the Certified SolidWorks Associate Exam Review in case you missed the classroom. About the exam. The exam is 3 hours long. The minimum passing grade is 70%. And if you fail, you can't take the exam again for 30 days. You're going to need to have a 2011 or newer version of SolidWorks installed. So I suggest first you go and download your educational version from the site, and right now I'm going to explain you how you can download and install that educational version for Makerspace members. As a member of Makerspace, you have access to the student version of SolidWorks. And if you go to Talk website, and as a member you have access to this site again, and search for grab your free SolidWorks 2017 student license while you can. David Tucker has explanation of how you can get that educational license. The link is here. You go to the link step by step. It explains you. When you go to the site, you use these ID and you can pick version 2016 or 2017. After your installation, you just go through the installation. When it's done, they will email you the key for that product. You can enter the key. It validates for 1 year. After you install the SolidWorks, now go to Google and just Google CSWA certificate. The first Google search is going to be the link to the page that has information about certificate. It does have that the general information, what's included, and it has a link to sample CSWA exam. Go ahead, click on it, and save it somewhere that you can find later. It will download the zip file into your folder. Then you can extract all the files, and then after extracting files, you see there is a PDF file and 3 SolidWorks parts. Right now, we're going to come back to these 3 files, SolidWorks parts. Now open the PDF file. PDF file does have the details of a sample exam you need. Just you can study that and see the details of how to install the program that's used for taking the exam, and then after the instruction that how you can install the program and how you can register for the exam, then test questions start. In this document, it explains that which commands are going to be used in completing the exam. On sheet 5, you can see that the exam details start with the drafting competency, and then basic part creation involves the sketching, extrude bus, extrude cut, modification of key dimensions. Then you have intermediate part creation and advanced part creation, and at the end assembly creation. And I'm going to cover all these topics in the level that can be used in the exam. And after I finish covering all of this in the last video, I will go through a few of the exams that has been published out as an example. At the end, I would like to add some details about the SolidWorks environment before you start. First thing, this is just my preference, that you add the standard views. Why? Standard views helps you navigate through the part more quickly. The other option would be using spacebar, but I prefer that one. That's just my preference. The other one is adding right click here, add tools. Now tools are used for measuring and getting the mass properties, and you will at the end see that why this is important for you. The other part that you need to know about the environment is when you create new part, okay, at the bottom right there is the units. Now when you get the exam, you have to follow the units that is asked on the exam, or you can do the unit conversion, but it's better to pick the proper unit. So the first thing you do, make it a habit to come here and check the units, because if you start a part, it's going to be very difficult to change it at the end. If it's millimeter, grams, this is the option. If it's inch, pound, that's the option. These are the main two options used, but just look at the exam, which units the results are requested, and make the changes right here. The next important thing is the material. Edit material, it will give you options. The first one is the steel. For example, if they use 1020 or they use different 304, you have the option of coming here, select, and apply. Other material is used, they normally use aluminum alloy, and I've seen other material used in the samples that I will provide, but just get used to getting here, selecting the material, and hitting apply. Unit is not important because it's gonna match your unit, and hit apply, then close. Your material will be selected. It shows up here. If you accidentally edit material, pick a different material, and just close it without applying, you will see that over here. So make a note somewhere, make a sticky note, put it somewhere. 1, check the unit. 2, check the material. Every time you start, check the unit, check the material, then start with making the part.